Well, that's it. Boat's on the pontoon. It's Wednesday, and on Saturday I should be sailing the Cherbourg with Sam for the 4th year in a row. So I'm rafted outside Charlie. That one there. So depth is saying 1.3 meters. So let's get the leaden line out and just check that. So it said 1.3. Alright, that's one. .8 meters. Good evening. So it's Thursday, and this weekend on Saturday I'm going to be crossing the channel over to Cherbourg again. So I've done it for the past 3 previous years, but my boy Sam, he's keen for it, so we're going to do it again. It's going to be part of the Yacht Club rally. So there's about probably about 6 or 7 boats going across. There's already 3 already in Cherbourg. But anyway, the outline plan is we're going to leave here, so Friday, tomorrow, just before midday. The wind's going to be slightly in the sort of northwest. Head down the western Solent and then drop the anchor at Key Haven. It's just before Hurst Narrows. So we're going to spend the evening there. And then at 0500 hours on Saturday morning we're going to congregate as a rally at Hurst Narrows, and then make our way out through the Needles and then across the channel. So looking at the wind then, so that's Friday at about is it 1200 hours, midday. So we're up here at the top of Southampton Water, so it's very light. Was it about 4 knots? So probably motoring down here, down to Cowshot, swing round and then come down to Western Solent. So that's with the tide. You can see there the wind is northwest, so it'd be fairly smooth. But however, so it would take about probably, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours to get round here. So if we put it to that's 1300, still in the northwest. There you go. See it, even at 1500 hours it's backed and it's a southwesterly now, so the tide's coming down here and we've got the wind coming up, so we've got wind over tide. So ideally I want to be down, and this is in Key Haven here. We're just outside. Going to drop the anchor round about there. That's the Hurst Narrows, and there's the Needles. So the wind going across on Saturday, if I bring it up to Saturday 0300 hours, so 0500 hours, hopefully we can see that. So the wind's in the north now, which is quite nice. So we'll be popping out the Needles, either pulled out Genoa or hopefully a spinnaker up, so we'll see what happens. As I always like to do for crossing the channel, I do a course to steer. So this one here, I marked out every hour, working on about 5 knots. Just literally edge of that corner of the paper on the Needles and then work it across. So I worked on 11 hours. You know, it's 60 miles from the Needles to the entrance to Cherbourg, east entrance. So that's 5 knots at 12 hours. So I think, especially if we've got spinnakers up, it'd be slightly quicker than that. But hopefully you can see, there you go, hour 1, hour 2, the tide wrong. The first hour it's going west, and then on the second hour, that's at 7:22, the tide's turned and it's going 0.2 knots east. So I've done that all the way down, so it's all east going up until hour 9, which is 14:38, when it turns west again. So I'll just add up totals for west and east, and overall there's a the bias which is to the east. It'd be about 5.2 miles. So just on the old chart, I've rubbed it out now, but I did a tidal vector from the top here, and it gives a course to steer of 185. And hey, you know, everyone's saying, well, you just come out the Nidos and go 180 and just go with the tide. Yes, yeah, I know, and you can't, it's impossible to accurately steer 185, but it's quite an interesting little exercise to do actually. And it sort of, especially in my thick brain, that it sort of really beds in what the tide's doing during the day at what time, and I can visualize, hopefully that'll be pretty much the track come the end of the day, so we'll see. And just one point sort of to highlight that I'll be thinking of is, as I'm about sort of 2 hours away from Cherbourg here, I know that my track's going to swing out east, and then as I approach the headland there, it will start going west. However, I've just got to be wary not to get too close to the rum line and get swept too far to the west here. So all the way down I'll be sort of hanging on to this east bias, because it's easier to, if I'm too far east as I get close to Cherbourg, it's easier just to ease right off and let the tide swing you into the entrance. But if you allow yourself to come the wrong side of the rum line, then you got a hell of a job to get back up tide. That's us underway. Left the pontoon about 11 o'clock. There you go. Hopefully it'll stay like that all the way down to Cowshot. Log's working, makes a change. Best part of the boat up here, sailing. Bit of commercial coming in. Okay, we're motor sailing. Coming up to Esso refinery. The ferry coming down, Southampton water. So it's probably about another half hour, get round Cowshot. Past Cowshot. There's cows over there. Still motor sailing. Hopefully when we get round the spit, going down the Western Solent, be able to get up the foresail up and sail down nicely. Nice, got the sails up now, up the foresail, engine off. Cowshot back over there, going down towards Leap Beach, get round the South Cardinal off there, and then down Western Solent down to the anchorage outside of Key Haven. And cows, Red Funnel Ferry, beautiful. Going down the Western Solent, was going nicely. They just come into a hole, so there you go, that's where we're going down there. Come on, wind. That's better. I was pointing down there. Low water. There's that spit just off Hurst Castle there. A few more boats in. Here we are, anchor, Key Haven. We're outside. A bit windy out there. Is it 18 knots? I'm in 3.2 meters. Well, it's probably about nearly 4 meters, and I got nearly 30 meters of chain out. So this will test the microphone. Hurst Castle, the lighthouse. Crazy Bee, Chris and Sue, part of the rally. There's Key Haven over there. So all good. Got the anchor ball up with the light, because I've got a separate light that I have to hoist. It's not one inbuilt at the top of the mast. So that's all set. Let's have a look over here. There you go, there's some snubber on. Well, we're planning, probably put the alarm on for about 4 in the morning. Ready to slip through Hurst Narrows at 5. Just had a snack now with Sam and make a bit of dinner in about 2 hours time. Morning. 4:10, Saturday morning. Kettle's on. I'm knackered. Quite a rolly night at anchor. Lovely morning now. Yeah, moon's up. Tide's running out about 1.2 knots on the log, so that'll make it fun getting the anchor up, but hey ho. So we're all going to congregate over at Hurst Narrows, just over there, for about for 5 o'clock. That's us off then, going through the Hurst. Crazy Bee just ahead. Sea Vixen and Revelation 3. And then 2 behind there, 1 over there. Cherbourg bound. Do swing now. Oh, filming. Big swell. Sam's down below trying to make the bacon sandwiches. All good fun. Wind's died off, so I've got the foresail in, just got the main in, but sheeted in tight. Horrible sea, waves coming from behind and from the west, so hopefully in the next couple of hours though the wind will fill in on the beam coming up from the west southwest, so be a bit comfier then. So engine on and just slogging along. Well, I've got the sails up, motor sailing still there. So it's I haven't turned the engine off yet because it's the wind started building up. It was only about 7-8 knots and the sea was quite lumpy, so it still wasn't enough power to push it through the waves, so that's why I kept the engine on, but it's getting there. I think in another half hour I'll probably turn the engine off. An entrance to Cherbourg is 22 miles, 21 miles. It's probably another 3.5 hours. At last, the engine's off. The sea's calmed down a bit, so time to get the kettle on. I think we're doing about 5 knots over ground. Bloody stick sorted out. Is it 5? Yeah, that's all we need. Happy days. Coming up to the entrance. Monday morning, and that's 2 days here, including arrival day. And at 11:30 local, we're going to slip and go to Guernsey. Cherbourg. About 11:35. Coming up to the Alderney race now. Just pulled out a bit of Genoa. So I've had the main up for motor sailing since we left Cherbourg. The wind's given us eased a bit, so I've motor sailing still, but with the Genoa up. Lots of traffic. It's all good. Sam's just made his lunch, pot noodle, something like that, and he's just made me a cup of tea, so we're all happy. Going 2.8 knots through the water. What's the speed over ground, Sam? 5.7. So 5.7 over ground. I've knocked the revs right off. It's just sort of tick over ahead. Just holding off at the top of the race. Give it another 15-20 minutes. And then think about dropping down into it. Lighthouse over there. We're following Sea Vixen. That's Gary and Ralphie on that one from the club. Just about make out Alderney in the distance. And up there's Chris and Sue on Crazy Bee. They're going into Alderney. All is good. Well, very pleasant motor sailing. There's about 5 knots of wind on the beam. 4 sails working. Main sail's flapping around a bit though. There's Alderney over there. So we're on a course of about 240 to take us into the top of the Little Russell Channel. All is good. Just put the kettle on for a cup of tea. I think we're going to have to park up on the waiting pontoons when we get there, so there's not going to be enough tide to get us over the sill into the marina, so it'll probably be about 3 hours waiting till about, I think it's about 8:30 tonight that I can get in, drawing 1.8 metres. the waiting pontoons.
Yeah, with the gang.
Yeah. With these reprobates. Dot and Damon.
How do you fire that off then?
What do you mean, how do I fire it off?
Well, you just pointed it, you didn't actually.
There's the sail. There we are down there. The height gauge above the sail. Bit of chicken Thai green curry on the go. Some rice. Ready for departure day tomorrow morning. I should be able to get over the sail at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. The tide will have already turned to go back up the Little Russell. That's about 9:30, but I'm only going to Alderney, so just need 4 hours to get me up there, which is fine. Nice evening. Tide coming in over the sill. So it's about 20 past 8 now, and we're leaving at hopefully 10:30. Be enough water over that. 11:15 on Thursday. We've left Guernsey, so going up the Little Russell Channel. It's about 15-16 knots in the northwest. Full main up, full Genoa. And, 8 knots, 8.2. So 4 hours to get to Alderney. Bit of turbulence. Another Vauquier, probably a Centurion, bigger than this one behind us. Sea Vixen over there, Gary and Ralphie. Vancouver 34, very nice. It's very comfortable in their boat in this. Look, Sabo's doing a good job. It's flattened out a bit actually now. There's Herm. And there's Sark over there. Kettle on for a cup of tea. It's coming up to midday. There's our position, nearly midway between Guernsey and Alderney. What are we doing? Yeah, still over 7 knots over ground. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, boat speed. What's that? Can you see that? 6.6, winds 12, 13, so that 15. Full main. Sea Vixen Gary. There's Vancouver 34 behind us. Looking very comfortable. So away. Sam's occasionally having to put a bit of work out in. But that's doing good. Bray Harbour. Where are we? We're down there somewhere. In front of that catamaran. It's the swinge. There's the bonfire for tonight, or the beacon, whatever you want to call it. There you go, we're in Bray Harbour. It's a frisky night on the mooring. We just got the dinghy back from Alderney Sailing Club, and they've just lit the bonfire. Yeah. Come on, a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Come on, Alderney. Here we go, there's one. So we're anchored in Frisky Bay, watching the fireworks. That's more like it. Well, if you stay in Bray Harbour for the Saturday night at the end of Alderney week, you get that going, that rave music going all night. Fantastic. And it's 8 o'clock the following morning. It's been going on since midnight and it's still banging. not happy. Sunday the 9th of August, just left Alderney, on the way to Cherbourg. We're hoping for a bit more wind than this, so the wind is in the west behind us, but it's not as much as we were hoping for, so we're motoring. So that's where we are. The tide should be just about turning to go east now. It's around about slack tide. There's Alderney. There's Sea Vixen again. Captain Le Hague. Right, yeah, you can see the lighthouse, I think. Or is that a sail? Not sure. But come on, wind. Well, the Otilla pilot, the Simrad TP32, I took a photo of the instruction manual, the page, and how to set it up, and stuck it into Meta AI on WhatsApp. What an amazing bit of kit. Basically, I asked to put it in plain English. So what I've got on at the moment is sea state on, so that's one beep. And I've got, I think is it the rudder setting set on 5, so you can have it 1 to 9. So hopefully after all this time I've actually sussed out properly how to set the thing up. Well, it's Wednesday the 12th of August, that's about right. Gary behind me. We've just slipped our pontoons in Cherbourg on our way back to the Needles, getting through the Needles, and just after Gary slipped, he noticed he had no cooling water coming out the back, so thankfully we got enough wind to sail all the way back. So the Needles tide opens, the gate opens at about 1700 hours, so see what happens. Going along nicely. We've got about 14 knots now, so that's enough wind. It was a bit light earlier. Gary Sea Vixen's back there in his Vancouver. It's a heavy boat, so he needs the wind. But good. Course is we're just sitting on about north. So let's hope it stays like this for the day. So it's 9:10, so that's about just over 2 hours into it. That's where we are. The tide's still going east, so we've got wind over tide, so it's still a bit lumpy. What's that? Boat speed about 5.2, 5.3. The wind, and thankfully the tiller pilot's doing a bit of a job. So I've got the sea state, I think it's called on, so on the setting this is the Simrad TP32. There's either one beep or two beeps. One beep is on and two beeps is off, So I've got it on one beep, i.e. sea state is on, and the other setting, can't remember what it's called, it's 1 to 9 setting, and for the sea state I thought, well, I'll put it on 8, so it's 8 out of 9. It seems to be managing okay, so all is good. Sam's resting down there. I've just made a cup of tea, and we're just waiting for the first of the eastbound shipping, commercial shipping coming from our port side. So probably another hour and we'll see the first ones. It's 10 past 10. Just made a cheese baguette. Nothing exciting, but it does the job. So up ahead on the port side there, we got the first bit of commercial that's going to potentially affect me, but looks like it'll go way past in front of me. So I'll have to keep an eye what's coming up behind them. Can't see anything at the moment, but I'm sure something will flash up quickly. Sailing along nicely, about 5.6 through the water. Wind is about 14 knots. We're about sort of, 50 degrees to the wind, I think, so not too tight. Tiller pilot's still behaving, so happy with that. Just been having a laying that end, so I'm out the wind, but little dozes, 5 minutes, and I think Gary Sea Vixens should be still behind us, so all is good. So that commercial was well ahead of me, sailing along nicely, 6 knots through the water. I get another half hour, the tide to go slack and then start turning. So we'll have, hopefully it'll be a bit, well, not hopefully, this is fine, but it will be a bit smoother. Main up still, probably 2 rows in the foresail. All good. Sam's up from his snooze. Great position in the cockpit. And thankfully, the tiller pilot is still working. You should hope so too, because it's pretty much brand new. Just gone 12 o'clock, midday. You can see the Isle of Wight now ahead of us. Over halfway. It's nice. Gary and Sea Vixen still behind us. And that tiller pilot is doing the business, which is good, because I was starting to give up hope on it. Doing about 4.8 through the water. I think it's probably about 5 knots over the ground, and the tide is just about slack. We're starting to turn to go west now. It's just gone 1:30. All is well. Yep. Wind's what, 10 knots still. Boat speed 4.9-ish. Tiller pilot's still working. Happy days. And there's Gary and Ralphie and Sea Vixen. They're Vancouver 34. He's just put the engine on actually because coming out of Cherbourg, he had no engine coolant water coming out the back. So I had to sort of tow him out the entrance, the east entrance into the wind, so he could get sailing. But he's fixed it, so he just wants to give it a run. Coming up to the Needles, probably about 50 minutes away. It's about 20 to 5 and the tide's about to turn around about 5:30 to go back up. So just about timed it right. That's us, we're on the Needles. There's a load of boats in Allen Bay waiting to watch the eclipse. We've got the Western Solent. The wind's picked up nicely. Look at that. Fly up here.